Nurses Lounge, where the nurses call the shots. I am your host, Charlene Harada Womana, better known as the Nurseologist. And I am here this week to talk to you guys and let you guys know about the past, the present, and the future. Yes, that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about my past shows. We're going to talk about our upcoming shows. We also are going to talk about what's coming in the future. So a lot of people really don't know a lot about what I do on a daily basis or even that I am a nurse. Let me give you a little bit of background as to why the Nurses Lounge Radio was started. The Nurses Lounge Radio was started so that I could make a platform for all you listeners to get a check rating on your health care. I'm not saying that you have to be, 100%. I'm not even saying that, you know, things that you do in healthcare is wrong. But what I am saying is that I want you guys to know if you would like a special show to air through the Nurses Lounge radio show, we have ways that you can sponsor. You can sponsor your business. You could even sponsor some of the events that you have coming up in the community that you would love the community to attend. That is some of the great things that we're doing here under She's the Boss Radio Network. In 2023, we are bringing out some new products for you guys. And what we really want you to do is share, share, share. Share the Nurses Lounge radio show with your community. You can go on www.shesthebossradio.com in order to see all of the shows that are running and especially to see me, the nurseologist. How else will you be able to get healthcare information? Now, let's keep that straight. Now, did y'all hear what I said? Healthcare information. Anything that you hear on this show is not any medical advice as to what you should do, but it is strictly giving you information and instructions on how you can care for your healthcare issues. And that is the important part here. What I want to do is I want to celebrate those who are out worrying about their health care and out, you know, doing what they have to do in order to maintain good health. That is what it's all about. It is all about making sure that you are on point. As I was driving into the show today, it came I had an epiphany. If y'all know me and my epiphanies, you know they go a long, long, long way. So when I had this epiphany, I said, every new year, when the new year coming in, everybody making all these resolutions and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna stop eating meat. I'm gonna stop eating sugar. I'm gonna not drink sodas. Well, what I have to tell you is all of that is fine and dandy, but you still gonna need a little bit of that in your life so that you won't go backwards and eat a whole lot more. So what I want you to do is I think this would help a lot of people. What I was thinking about is if people want to do a resolution for the next coming year, try to do it under health. Just try to get healthy. Being healthy is so important, and health is not just exercise. It takes a lot to go into being healthy. So that's what I want people to think of. I want people to think of health as your wealth. If you're going to go out and you're going to work, you're no good to anybody if you can't function yourself and care for others. So, what I want everybody to do is go back and rethink their short term goals as to what their resolution is in 2023. As you all know, we are 14 days in. 14 days into January. I know, I know, I know. This is just a healthcare reminder that we are 14 days into the new year. Time is flying so fast. That's why we're going to talk about the past shows. We're going to talk about the current shows that are coming up. And we're going to talk about our future shows here on the Nurses Lounge Radio. It is so important for me to give you guys exactly what you're looking for instead of me coming up with all of these plans for what the community would like to see and hear. I would love for you guys to go on my Facebook page under the Nurses Lounge Radio Show, where you can communicate with me and you can communicate with your community as well. You know, it takes just a little time for you to go on and send me a DM and let me know what you're looking for. And also, that could give me some insight as to who to invite to my show so that they can give you some information um, according to what's going on here in the world. Yes, it is so important to me that I educate the community and give them the resources that they need because resources, man, I am a wealth of resources. And this is what I am trying to do. I am trying to get the community together so that they can be a little more informed as to what's going on. People always tell you that it's important that you eat right. It's important that you exercise, but nobody really sit down and tell you what type of exercise is best for you and your body type and your health history as well. People can give you good advice. Some people can give you bad advice. But during my show, most of what I try to do is I try to reflect on people going to their primary care physician to get the correct words and the proper exercise for their body type. Because a lot of people just come up with anything. They just come up with, oh, you need the exercise. And then you're like, say, for instance, me. 218 pounds, and they're going to tell me that I need to run 4 miles a day. Well, we know that ain't happening. Me run 4 miles a day, man, I'll be laying on the side of the road somewhere. But what I can do is I can start walking maybe 20 minutes a day until I can build up to walking those 4 miles. And that's what we need to get in the habit of doing, referring our community to go to their healthcare providers to get the proper information. Sorry, to get the proper information that they need because right now, um, everybody needs to take charge of their healthcare and work with their provider to be sure that they're getting, the biggest bang for their buck in their insurance. If you have health insurance, you need to be getting top of the line quality care. And not only that, you need to be getting what is due to you. Yes, back in the day, I can tell you that when I was younger and I went to the doctors, it seemed like the doctor told my mom everything that she needed to do. So now when I go to the doctors, it's more so as me with my provider guiding me through um, my healthcare issues. We all have some type of healthcare. I don't want to say issues, but we all have some type of healthcare problems that we need to get solved, whether that's high blood pressure. I'm just going to name a couple of the top ones: high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, um, low vitamin D. So we all need to be getting that information from our primary care doctors. I know a lot of people that go on Google and go on WebMD to get their questions answered. But until you have those pertinent tests that goes with whatever healthcare issue you find on the internet or however you research, there are a series of tests. Now, if you look at um, the bottom line to any of those healthcare issues that you find online, I want you guys, well, actually, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to challenge you guys to go to a section that states what to do in case you have this specific illness or symptoms. If you look at that, you're always going to see that there are some diagnostic tests that need to be done. There are some not only diagnostic tests, you have lab work. You have to take in consideration your race. You have to take in consideration your family history. Everything that's out there on social media and all of those other platforms aren't really taking in consideration what your specific healthcare issue is, and not only that, what it's going to take to get you um, to the point where you can become healthy. That is what my resolution is for all of my listeners today. Is I am going to challenge you guys to make a New Year's resolution and put down some healthcare goals. Find some healthcare goals that you're interested in and go to your healthcare provider and talk about those healthcare issues and goals that you want to, change that trajectory. Um, I can tell you at 218 pounds, I feel really good. Now, it's not where I want to be, but I can tell you it's definitely better than where I was 15 years ago, being 309 pounds at 5 feet tall. Y'all know I give myself that extra, extra. I'm really 4'11, but wherever I go, I tell everybody I'm 5 feet. I know it's just something about being 4'11 that everybody who's 4'11 will always say that they are 5 feet tall. Knowing even with some heels, I'm not even 5 feet tall. But you know what? It is just so amazing that if nobody is measuring your height, you can tell them how tall you want to be. Now I went somewhere and somebody asked me how tall I was. I had to give it to them, right? I say I'm 5'7". They looked at me and said, "Please." That's my great niece. That's her favorite word. Aunt Cheyenne peas. She can't even say the word please. Tell me some peas. It's just so funny when you have little people, especially little people who some of the things that they say are really on point. Some of the things they do, will really have you in that giggle state. Sometimes you don't want to laugh at them, but on the inside, you just have this great big smile like, I can't believe they just said this. So let's get back to why we are here. We are going to talk about the past. We're going to talk about the current. We're going to talk about the future for the Nurses Lounge radio show. When we come back, I am going to tell you how these years, starting this radio show, and what doors it has opened for me. I'm just telling y'all, it's just a whole lot. But today I'm going to cram it all into this one show so that I can give you the raw deal on how I became a radio host. And I think you guys are going to love it. Not only that, we're going to talk a little bit about health and healthcare. And I'm going to let you know what to expect on the future shows here on the Nurses Lounge radio show. So I'll be right back with you guys shortly. So stay tuned.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but
And welcome back to the Nurses Lounge, where the nurses call the shots. I am changing my slogan from the nurses call the shots to this is all for your health. That is what I want everybody to know, that the Nurses Lounge is going to this is for your health. I think that that has a better ring to it than nurses call the shots, because folks have been thinking that my radio show is specifically for nurses. No, it's not. It's for community information. It's for social work. It's for healthcare. It's also for financial, literacy. It is a community show. The show is for the community. It's for me to give the information to the community so that the community will know how to interact with their provider. That is my main point for my radio show. And that's why I came up with this called the Nurses Lounge Radio Show. This is pretty much a conversation that takes place in the nurses lounge before we go out to see our patients. We always have a conversation about our day, about our patients, and how we align our day in organization, how we get ourselves together and prepared to go do God's work. So, with that being said, let's talk about my past shows. I can say that I had kids on my show, which is called the Kids Corner. The kids come on, they talk about school. Actually, really I left it open to the kids to talk about what was on their heart and what they want their friends to know about school. So, coming out of the era where we were on lockdown and talking about COVID, I had the kids to talk about how was their education at home. Did they prefer homeschooling or did they prefer being in a class? I had four young ladies here, and out of the three young ladies, they stated that they would rather be in class with their classmates so that they can learn better with their teacher standing in front of them than sitting at a computer all day. So, if we as an adult hate sitting at a computer all day, can you imagine what that kid span was to sit there and they expected them to be on that camera for 6 hours? Now, if you're talking about some creative kids, let me tell you, I have seen some creative stuff on that online class. My nephew was one of them. Guess what he did? He took a picture that was on his mother wall in the living room, and he set it in front of the camera like the teacher wasn't going to know that wasn't him. Come on now, kids. We're brighter than that. He was asleep. Now, my other question to you is, how can a kid do schooling online and be late for class? That's what I want to know. How do they be late for school when they don't have to get up and put clothes on? All they have to do is be on time to log into the computer. They come up with, I can't log in. I forgot my code. I didn't plug my computer up last night. What other kind of comments they came up with? Oh, I like this comment. My computer don't work. Why your computer don't work? You think it don't work because you didn't plug it up? Hmm. Yeah, that was one of the scenarios. One of the kids talked about. My brother would always say, I can't get on my class. And she said she kept wondering why he could not get on. It takes a genius, a parent, a auntie. Auntie gonna make sure those kids get online. You know why? Because education is so important. And if we don't educate our kids, who's gonna educate them? So auntie doing her auntie duties. Y'all know me. The nurseologist is on it. Guess what? Let's get this schoolwork together and let's talk about it. Let's talk about why you can't get up and get to your class on time. Because the way I see it, you ain't doing anything else anyway, you know. But they can come up with 120 million things as to why they couldn't get online. But aunties are always love their nieces and nephews. So I help them out sometimes. Sometimes they don't want to hear from me because they already know what I'm coming to talk about. And you know what? I keep it clean and I keep it real. Let's talk about these important issues. We talked about bullying in school. We talked about how to control your temper. We also had a guest on the show by the name of Vanine Roberts. She has an excellent program out there to help young ladies um, learn etiquette classes. We had her on here a couple of times, and she also have a feminine line with pads and wipes, so that you can smell fresh for the females. I'm not quite sure what she has coming down the pike. So, men, y'all can listen too because you might want to get your significant other, your daughter, or someone some products that don't contain a lot of animal products if you're looking into natural. Look up Vanine Roberts. She has a lot of good things coming. Not to mention that's my cousin, and not to mention we're gonna be millionaires before the end of 23. See, that's what I'm talking about. You have to call it. You have to write it down. You have to pray about it. You have to let God know what you're looking for, because if you don't tell nobody and you don't ask and you don't go seek, guess what? You'll never find. So, some of my past shows, what we talked about diabetes, we talked about heart, we talked about the kidneys, we talk about mm, we talked about mental health. This year I am going to have not only some counselors come in and be on the show, but I am going to get some mental health counselors to come in and talk to the community. The other thing, now that I'm working in the emergency room, what I've come up with is they have peer review counselors. They're very, very, very helpful when it comes down to healthcare. And the reason being why they're so helpful is they're able to talk to those they're able to talk to those patients that aren't comfortable with talking to us about their healthcare issues. The peer review counselors, they talk to the patients about substance abuse. They talk to them about alcohol use. They even can talk to them about cigarettes and vaping. Vaping is one of the things that the kids are doing now that we really need to start talking about. Um, if there's anyone out there who would love to come on my show and talk to my community about any healthcare issues, any not even about healthcare issues, about community events. What I would love for you guys to do is get a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to give you my email so that you can send me some information on what you prefer to hear on my show. And that is what I'm planning for my future shows. What I need is a community to work with me to allow me to give you the information that you're looking for, and not just me bringing on any show that I feel that the community is looking for. Because in 2023, what is going on with the Nurses Lounge radio show is a little transition where I get information from you guys as to what you want on the show for the month. Now, let's talk a little bit because they do have a healthcare recognition calendar. Now, for the month of January, and we still have, I believe, 2 more weeks left in January. So, January has a couple of different healthcare, things that we can talk about. We can talk about cervical cancer. We can talk about glaucoma awareness. We can talk about birth defects. That is really big and important right now. Blood donors. When the first of the year come around, the blood bank would really, really, truly love for us to come and give blood so that they can replenish their supply from over the end of the year. We have thyroid awareness. We have leprosy. Um, we have National Pharmacist Day was 2 days ago. We have National IV Nurse Day coming up on January the 25th. We have National Activity Professional Day on January the 27th. So on January the 27th, I would love, love, love to challenge you. You know what? This is a year of challenge. I would love to challenge everyone that's listening today. Tell a friend. I would love for everyone to go out on January the 27th and do some type of activity in your community and post it on my page. Post it on my Facebook page, the Nurses Lounge Radio Show. Show me what you're doing out in the community. Be professional about it and go out and do the work. That is what is so important for our community. If we don't go out and do the work, then we don't know what's going on. We don't know what information our community needs. And this is why I want us to now take that focus and go the extra step to do what we can do to help our community get healthy. So let's skip to the month of February because right now I'm planning my shows for February. February is Low Vision Awareness Month. Let's get our young kids, out in the community and get their eyes checked. That's so important, being as though they're in school now. I don't know where their seat is in school, but they really need to be able to see in order to pay attention to the teacher. So, on that note, we're coming down to another commercial break. So, I'm going to have to get back to you on the plans for February. So, stay tuned, and we're going to talk a little bit about February and what it is that's coming to the show. So, stay tuned so I can give you all the information about February and my shows.
We don't break the laws. We just
The nurseologist. Good afternoon and welcome to She's the Boss Radio Network. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week network, and they focus on building, strengthening, and inspiring the community, motivating men, women, youth from the home to the conference room. This is my conference room, guys. Yes, if don't nobody make a seat for you at the table, make your own seat at the table. And right now, the Nurses Lounge is sitting at this large table, y'all. I have a big table here where I am broadcasting to you today, where I am here to share information with you and help you with your New Year's resolution. It's not going to the gym. It's not running 4 miles a day. It's not sacrificing and eating rice cakes all day long and drinking protein drinks, honey. It is getting that natural food into you and getting what you need for your body type. That is what's important to me. I am your host, the nurseologist, and you're listening to the Nurses Lounge. And I am changing my slogan to health is wealth. Yes, let's get that on today. We would like to thank you for tuning into the show. We invite you to be a part of the show as well. If you'd like to call into the show, the number is 443-272-5922. Join us do y'all hear me? Join us on www.shesthebossradio.com. That's where you can go to my page on that website and like all of these listeners I have and all of these people on my Facebook page. And I only have 12 likes on my radio banner. What is that telling you? That's telling you that you guys need to share. You guys need to come on the show. You guys need to invite your friends to She's the Boss Radio Network. It's internet radio. I'm tired of people asking me if I have a podcast. No, ma'am, I don't have a podcast. I have an internet radio show that has been on air for 3 years. 3 years. Now it's time for me to step up my game, and now it's time for you guys also to step up your game and invite your friends and family to come to the show. Send me an email. My email is Nurses Lounge, that's nurses with a S, lounge, at iCloud.com. Let's talk about it. I know several people out here that are diabetics that are dying to have birthday cake, that are dying for their sweet potato pie, that's dying. I'm telling you guys, for that pound cake fried in that butter on that skillet. I am here to tell you they can have it. You just have to be willing to sacrifice the portion control. That's all it is. And then who in the world ever came up with diabetes and sugar? Those two words doesn't even match. What I want you guys to understand is that diabetes have to do with what? Your pancreas. It has nothing to do with sugar. Everybody, I'm telling you, those old folk tales will last hundreds and hundreds of years. But it's time for us healthcare providers to get out in the community and educate our community as to how, when, where, what, and why. Now, that's what we learned in high school. So now it's time to get all of you guys up front and close to what's going on here. So I also want you to know that you can listen to us in tunein.com. You can go to Google and say Alexa or Siri. If you have an iPhone, you got Siri. Tell Siri, play She's the Boss Radio. And I guarantee you at 2 p.m. on a Saturday, you will get me, the nurseologist, here at the Nurses Lounge Radio Show. You can always go to Shoutcast. You can follow us on Facebook under She's the Boss Radio. You can follow us on Twitter and IG. On Twitter, you can follow us at She's the Boss Radio without the O. You can follow us on IG under WSTBRN. You know you got to do some abbreviations. You know, the young community, they good with them abbreviations. They be sending me abbreviations. I be sitting there like, what? I had to type them back. What is this? And then when they told me, I said, duh. You know, that one thing is for sure and 10 things is for straight. I spell out every word when I text. You know, they be looking at me like, look on Charlene, that has faded. You gotta get with these acronyms. The only acronym I know is how to spell a word out. That's what I'm saying. If they ever in a spelling bee, how they gonna win? Duh. Can't abbreviate a word when you're in a spelling bee. You can also, which is good, guys. I'm gonna tell you a way that you can see my previous shows. If you go on YouTube and you go on She's the Boss Radio, all my shows are on there. Go back, like my shows. Go on YouTube under She's the Boss Radio. All these viewers I have on Facebook, IG. I need you guys to go on www.shesthebossradio.com today. I need you guys to get on over there and like my radio show. Now, just getting back. Let me stop rabbling on, and continue this past, present, and future shows of the Nurses Lounge. What I need to do also is challenge all those businesses that are out there listening to me. We have sponsorship here on my show where your upcoming events can be played, where you can come on and talk about your business. Let's get this going. Let's make this a friendly show, which is what I started this show for, so that we can get you guys geared up, fired up, to give information to the community. And come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about these issues. So for the month of February, let's get back to it. It's low vision awareness for anyone, not only kids. American Heart. Everybody knows that February is the Heart Month. Not to mention that it's Valentine's Day. What I need you guys to do is put on a little small event. I don't even care if it's an event just for your family at home. And I want you to come and share that on my Facebook page under She's the Boss Radio Network, and share it on the Nurses Lounge Radio Show. I need you to come there, and I need you to start sharing some of your family events. I need you to come on and share some community events. I also need you to come on my show so that we can talk about what's going on in the community and how you are making a difference in the community. And that is so important, is the difference that you're making in a community. Let's talk about WISE Healthcare Consumer Month. It is Patient Recognition Week. The first week of February is Patient Recognition Week. Let's not forget about the phlebotomists. Their recognition week is from February 13th to February 17th. We have muscular dystrophy awareness. We have cardiovascular professional week, which is during Valentine's from the 14th to the 20th. I like to talk to these young kids about eating disorders. That would be a really nice show. February the 3rd is Wear Red Day. What I want to do is I want to put out a challenge. I'm all for challenges if y'all can't figure that out. Right now, I am all for challenging our community to figure out what needs to be done. Now, Wear Red Day is on a Friday. If you go to my Facebook page, I am going to put out a giveaway for Valentine's Day. For February, for Wear Red Day. Whoever has the best Wear Red Day outfit, I am going to give you a gift. Now, the challenge is you have to go to my Facebook page, the Nurses Lounge Radio Show page, and you have to post you in an outfit, in a red outfit. I'm not going to tell you how to be creative with this red outfit. I just need you to wear a red outfit and post it on my page. That is the Nurses Lounge radio show page on Facebook. And I'm going to give away a gift. I'm not going to tell you what that gift is yet, but I am going to give away a gift on Friday. Well, actually, I'm going to do it on my show on Saturday. Now, Friday is Wear Red Day, and Saturday is February the 4th, and I am going to give away some prizes to for the people who post on my page. It is National Women's Physician Day on February the 3rd as well. Maybe the first week of February, I can bring a physician on to talk to you guys about women's health. I will put out that call for some women physicians to come on my show on February the 4th. You guys send me either an email or go on my page and let me know what topic you would like to talk about. It's uh it's National Caregivers Day in February as well. So that's a little bit about what's going on in February. Excuse me. I am also planning my shows for the rest of the year, so I'll be able to plug you guys in. Um, I just need you to send me an email, let me know that you're interested. I'm gonna start posting twice a week that I'm looking for some co-hosts to come on my show to give my community healthcare information. And we're getting ready to go on our last commercial break. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you all the wonderful things that are going on with me for the month, for the year of 2023. I have a new nonprofit that is getting in the motion as we speak. So, with that being said, I am going on my last commercial break. And I will be back to tell you about all what's coming up in 2023. Yes.
You could listen to one of those other stations.
to the Nurses Lounge where the nurses call the shots. It's time to wrap this show up, and it's time to give you guys the information that you've been holding on for a minute. So, this is 2023, and I've been searching for 38 years on what I can do to make a legacy for my family. And I came up with a foundation that's soon to be a nonprofit that I am going through the steps to make that happen. And I am going to launch this on April the 2nd on my mom's birthday. So the name of the foundation is Elizabeth Dorothy Bullard. The foundation is going to represent fire victims and their families after house fires. That don't necessarily mean that it's going to be only in Baltimore City. I'm going to start with Baltimore City and Baltimore County, and then I am going to venture out around the world. Well, I'm going to say around the country first before I take this really out of the country. But what I want to do is I want to support victims of house fires and their kids to give them scholarships so that they'll be able to attend college. I have all my paperwork signed, sealed, and done. I'm just waiting for my 501c3 application to be completed and be accepted. And I am going to do a campaign or a gala to raise money so that on April the 2nd, we could give a small token to a family or families um, for their kids to attend college. Now, with that being said, I know that all kids um, do not want to go to college. So they could still benefit from going to a career school as well. But this has been laid on my heart for years that I start a nonprofit to help our community be able to get back to the norm for a family of a house fire. I was in a house fire back in 1984 where I lost my mom and my younger brother. Survival survivors was myself at 15, my brother at 16, and my 18-month-old sister. Um, it's been 38 years now, and I am going to, for this 39th year, um, start this foundation for my mom and my mom's name to help families get themselves back together. Everybody always asking me, Charlene, how did you do it? How did you survive the house fire? How did you survive without your mom? By the grace of God. God has strengthened me. He have nurtured me. He have gotten me to the point where I am now. Thanks to him and the owner of this network giving me the opportunity to share my voice and to share God's gift that He gave me to care for people and give people healthcare information. And now He's taken me to another level, guys. He's taken me to that level where now I can physically give back to the community even after I volunteered for 9.5 years for Baltimore County as a paramedic. Um, I just felt the need was out there and that the community really needed someone to support them who have been through the same situation that they've been through. And not only that, to take those kids to a different level. I want those kids to know that they have my support and my family legacy to support them in educating themselves and also paying it forward to a community um, that will be forever grateful that this foundation has been started. Um, the goal for my foundation is to live longer than I live. For someone to come in and take on this legacy and build this legacy for the community. That is what this is for. This is for the community. This is not for me. This is not for just my family. This is for a community to stand strong. I do know that most house fires do occur a lot between October and mid March. So, April the 1st to do a gala, that would be awesome for me to do a gala to introduce my organization to the community. And that is what I am in the midst of planning right now. Um, if any of you guys would like to offer me some assistance or even give me some of your advice as to what the community could benefit from for victims of house fires and survivors, and by all means education for those kids is so important to me, please send me an email at nurseslounge at icloud.com. That's NURSESLOUNGE at icloud.com. If you, I mean, I'm sorry. My mind is just shot. Yeah. Um, if you could send me some information as to how you or your organization can assist me with getting this up and running and hopefully giving our community the resources that they need. So that is the end of my show. I want to thank you all for being a guest here this week. Tune in next week with me, same time, except for not on Facebook. Remember, www.shesthebossradio.com. Join me. I'm going to challenge you guys this week. Right now, I'm looking at the page and I see that I only have 11 hearts. I'm going to challenge you guys to get me up to 100 by next week. So be sure to go on www.shesthebossradio.com and like the Nurses Lounge. With that being said, this is the Nurseologist. Just saying, see you next week. Not saying goodbye. I want you all to come back next week at 2 p.m. and join me for my show. So have a wonderful and healthy week. See you next week.
We don't break the laws. We just make